like loons and quines and abdy else that's watching. Welcome to another set of stories and songs from Sheena Blackhall and myself, Pauline Cordiner. Well, as you'll probably know, the 25th of January was Robert Burns's birthday, and this is when we celebrate Burns Night. So I thought I would sing you one of my favourite Burns songs, because he was famous for writing songs as well as poems, and it's called Rattlin, Roarin, Willie. Oh, Rattlin, Roarin, Willie, oh, he held day the fair, for to sell his fiddle and buy some other wares. But pert and wee his fiddle, a saltier blunt is he. Rattlin, Roarin, Willie, you're welcome hame to me. Oh, Willie, come sell your fiddle, say fine. Willie, come sell your fiddle and buy a pint of wine. If I should sell my fiddle, the world would think I was mad. Money's a rantin' day, my fiddle and I had. As I come by Crocallan, I cannily keek it in. Rattlin', Roarin', Willie was sitting at yon board and I'm angry company. Rattlin', Roarin', Willie, you're welcome hame to me. Oh, Willie, come sell your fiddle, say fine. Willie, come sell your fiddle and buy a pint of wine. If I should sell my fiddle, the world would think I was mad. Money's a rantin' day, my fiddle and I had. Oh, Rattlin', Roarin', Willie, oh, he held tay the fair, for to sell his fiddle and buy some other wares. But pert and wee his fiddle, a saltier blunt is he. Rattlin', Roarin', Willie, you're welcome in to me. Oh, Willie, come sell your fiddle, say fine. Willie, come sell your fiddle and buy a pint of wine. If I should sell my fiddle, the world would think I was mad. Money's a rantin' day, my fiddle and I had. Yuck!
It's a very quick change, and it's about the Wizard of the North. I wrote this wee poem to help people understand how we speak up in the northeast. There is a wizard in the north, he makes a magic brew that changes all the wordies that are biding in your moo. In English, folks say what and who, and when and why and where. In Glasgow, it's whit and wha that they say there. But o'er the Doric, loons and quines, the wizard shakes his wand, 'cause it's fit, fa, fan, and far, they say, o'er the northeast land. If you fa upon an English stone, in Glasgow it's a stain. They'll tell you in the telephone he's hurt, he's funny bane. In Aberdeen it's steen and bean, a wizard's work again. A crow's an English birdie, he's a craw in Glasgow town, but the craw becomes a craft and he flees out the wizard's goon. On England shines the silver moon, a min where Glasgow's seen, but the wizard puts a spell on us, 'cause here we see a mean. In Scotland they may tell you to one bow your head. In England boiling heads would be an odd pastime indeed, but for aince the wizard's sleeping, and he doesna bat an ee, it's the same biled head in Glasgow, Embro, Fitty and Dundee. I think I ken the secret of the wizard's magic laws. It's a boot for bairns comfy, and the why they work their jaws. So that's the why we speak as we speak up here. Yes.
Well, thank you very much, Sheena, for that fantastic poem. Now, I think we're going to be moving from Aberdeenshire in Doric, just a wee thoughty further south. I'm going to tell you a story about a Scottish beast, a monster, if you will. Now, it's called the kelpie, and as some of you might know, a kelpie is a fairy type in Scotland. And Scottish fairies, they're not these beautiful things that flutter around. No, they can be quite scary, because the kelpie can change itself. It can change the form that it appears in. It can either appear as a man or it can appear as a horse. And what the horse would typically do is it would stand down next to a body of water, and then it would wait until an unsuspecting traveller, maybe you, came walking along and thought, "What shilty's that? Doesn't it look like it belongs to onybody? It's nae got a saddle or a bridle. it could belong to me. And then if you dared to try and get upon its back, all of a sudden you would be stuck to it like glue. And then the kelpie would show itself for fit it was. It would rear back on its hind legs with its hoofs flailing in the air. Its eyes, some people say, glow red. Some people even say that its mane turns to snakes, and then it would take you deep, deep down beneath the water, where it would drown you and take your soul. Scary stuff. But there was a laird, and this laird was the Laird of Morphie, which lies just to the north of Montrose. Now this laird didn't hae a castle, he just had an ordinary hoose like anybody else, and he wanted a castle, because he wanted Aberdeen to ken how rich and powerful he was. But the thing is, this laird, he was off a ticht with his money. He wouldn't want to pay you, no. If you worked for him, he wouldn't want to pay you to cut the stone, to take the stone to the land and build his castle for him. No. I wonder, would any of yous want to work for free? Nah, you wouldn't, would you? But he had heard that doon and the river, he had heard there lived a kelpie, and he wanted to ken how he would capture it and make it work for him for free. So he went to the spae wife. Now the spae wife was an old wise woman that bade in the woods, and he came to her old shack and he rapped on the door, and she opened it up. She kicked at him with one ancient eye, and she said, "Aye, what do you want, lady?" And he said, "I need you to tell me how to capture a kelpie." "Well," she said, "what you must do is get all the silver in your house, and you must melt it down and spun out, first into ribbon, and then thinner and thinner until you hae threed a siller. And then you must hae it woven. You must hae it woven into a bridle, because siller is the one metal which can control a kelpie. But mind," she said, "treat it nice, treat it well, otherwise you will be cursed forever." Aye, says the lairdie. Well, that's what he did. He went to his wives and his daughter, and he took their siller jewellery. He had his son's buckle belts melted down. He had all the fine cups and goblets melted down, and plates, and he had it all spun, and a thin siller thread, and then he took it to a woman who could weave, and he had her weave a bridle. Now, the first day that he went down by the river, and there was nothing there. And the second day he went down, he felt that somebody was watching him. And the third day he went down, there it was. And it looked like the most beautiful black stallion, strong. He could see the muscles under its skin. And he played his part well. He got up to it and he patted it down and he said, "Aye, my bonny Sheltie, would you be coming awa with me? Maybe I'll get upon your back and I'll ride you home." And the kelpie was thinking to himself, "I've got him. This man's soul will be mine. I'll make him my slave forever." But it wasn't to be. Because just as the horse started to trust that the man was about to climb on his back, from out of his bag, he took the bridle and he slipped it over the horse's head. Well, immediately the kelpie rode back on its hind hooves, its front hoofs flailing in the air, and it roared in anger. But there was nothing it could do, because it was now the laird's slave. And the laird said to it, "Aye, you'll come with me and you'll work. By day you will work as a man in my quarry. You'll shape the stane and you'll bring the stane, as a horse by night pulling the cart. And then you'll take that stane and you'll build my castle for me, and I winna set you free until me and my family have eaten our first meal within the castle walls." And that was what the kelpie had to do. Do you think he treated it nicely? This man who wouldn't even pay for people to build his castle. No, he didn't feed it well. He didn't even give it a place to sleep. And after 3 years, the castle was built. But the kelpie was skin and bone. There was nothing to him. But the laird moved in his family and all his fine things. And that first night, they had their supper. And he came down the stone steps, and he said to the kelpie, I set you free now. And he removed the bridle. And you could have seen the sore bits round the kelpie's face where the bridle had held it for so long. And then the kelpie took one look at him, its eyes gleaming red in the darkness, and it said, Sair back, sair banes, Hallen the laird of Morphie stains, and nane a year your kin will thrive as long as this kelpie is alive. And it turned on its heel and it galloped all the way down to the river, and it plunged in and has never been seen since. So what does that curse mean? Sair back, sair banes, sore back and sore bones, Hallen the laird of Morphie stains, spending every day pulling those heavy stones. And none of the laird's kin will thrive. No, none of his family will be healthy as long as the kelpie's still alive. Well, the laird, his son grew ill and died within no time at all. His wife became ill and thin, and his daughters, they moved away for fear that they would be next. His cows and his yows were sickened and soon died, and even the crops failed in the fields. And soon there was nobody there but the laird. He died soon enough. And normally, when a castle is ruined, the locals come and take the stone to build their own homes. But nobody did that because of the curse. And if even you go there to this very day, you'll see the stones lying around the ruins. And some people say that even the birds didn't flee above the castle. And that says to me that the kelpie is still alive. So if you're ever down there by the river North Esk and you see a beautiful horse standing by the river, almost waiting for you to get on top and ride it off, dinna, because it might just be the kelpie.
Now, I'm going to sing one of the oldest songs in Scotland, an old ballad. And before I sing it, I'll just tell you what it's about briefly, so as you can just keep up. Corbie is the old word for a crow. And two corbies, two crows, were flying around in the sea, a skeleton in armour behind a dike. And they know that it's a night, and they also know that he's been murdered. And they're hungry, they're needing their dinner, you see, so they decide that they're going to use him for a feast. And one of them says, he's going to take the eyes out, because usually the eyes are the first thing that are missing by a corpse. And they describe all the bits that they're going to eat, and then the other one says, well, and I'll pull out what's left of his hair, and I'll make a lovely nest. And nobody's going to care, because his wife has run off with somebody else, and nobody even knows he's there. It's a lovely old Scots ballad, so here we go. If you want, you can close your eyes and imagine that you're just walking through an old eerie forest where this mist is just weaving out and in of the trees, crunching under your feet with the frost. As I was walking alone, I heard Twa Corbies mocking a man. The tane and tae, the tither did say, oh, far shall we gang and dine the day, oh, far shall we gang and dine the day. In a hen yon all fail dyke, I ken there lies a new slain knight, and naebody kens that he lies there, oh, but his hawk and his hound and his lady fair, oh, his hawk and his hound and his lady fair. His hawk is tae the wildfowl gane, his hound to fetch the game come hame, his lady's ta'en another meadow, sae we can mak our dinner sweet, oh, we can mak our dinner sweet. He sat on his white horse bean, and I'll peck out his bonny een. We'll lock all his golden hair, oh, we'll seek our nest when it grows bare, oh, we'll seek our nest when it grows bare. Money ane for him makes main, but none shall ken where he is gane, or his white banes when they are bare, oh, the wind'll blaw forevermore, oh, the winds'll blaw forevermore. And if you've had your een shut, just you put your hands over them and gently open your een now and come back into the room.
Well, Abdi, we hope you enjoyed that, and we'll see you again some other time for more Scots songs and stories.